So, a very good morning to Austria. Schönen guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen zum Webinar zur Bauindustrie und Infrastruktur Großprojekten in Hongkong. Mein Name ist Jennifer Feigl. Ich bin die österreichische Wirtschaftsdelegierte in Hongkong, zuständig mit meinem Team für die beiden chinesischen Sonderverwaltungsregionen Hongkong und Macau. Hongkong ist ja bekannt für die größte Hochhausdichte der Welt. Man kennt die unverkennbare Skyline am Victoria Harbour und weiß, dass Raum hier in der Sonderverwaltungsregion sehr beschränkt ist. In den dicht besiedelten Stadtbezirken Hongkongs ist daher der Bedarf an spezifischen Bausonderlösungen sehr groß. Viele der Wolkenkratzer sind alt und müssen generalsaniert und energieeffizienter gemacht werden. Viel Platz für große Baumaschinen oder Baustellen hat man dabei aber nicht. Aber das Interessante ist, es wird auch viel neu gebaut. Und das in den nächsten 15 Jahren vor allem aufgrund eines großen Infrastrukturprojekts, nämlich der sogenannten Northern Metropolis. Ein völlig neuer Stadtteil wird da entwickelt im Norden Hongkongs, wo bis jetzt hauptsächlich Sumpflandschaft war. Denn das ist der direkt an Festland China angrenzende Bezirk, getrennt nur durch den Shenzhen River. Und die engere Zusammenarbeit mit dem Festland wird vor allem mit der Verknüpfung der großen Städte in dieser Region im Rahmen der sogenannten Greater Bay Area, GBA, passieren, was auch der Wirtschaftsmotor der Zukunft für Hongkong ist und sein wird. Die Northern Metropolis ist eine interessante Region. Sie soll Platz, Wohnungen und auch Arbeitsplätze für 2,5 Millionen Menschen schaffen. Das ist ein extrem ambitioniertes Vorhaben, das aber schon gestartet hat und wir heute näher vorstellen werden. Und genau deswegen glauben wir am Außenwirtschaftscenter, dass jetzt ein sehr, sehr guter Zeitpunkt ist für österreichische Unternehmen im Bau- und Infrastrukturbereich, sich jetzt etwas mehr mit dem Markt Hongkong zu beschäftigen und sich den genauer anzuschauen. Und genau dabei wollen wir Ihnen helfen und Sie und Ihre Produkte und Lösungen hier zu positionieren. Der erste Schritt dazu ist dieses Webinar heute. Yvonne, next slide, please. Und weil wir glauben, dass es nicht reicht, nur einmal auf eine Messe zu kommen, haben wir uns ein langfristiges Konzept überlegt, Sie hier erfolgreich zu positionieren. I will now switch to English as we are having some local speakers with us today, whom I will introduce in a second. I have just now previously explained in German why we think it's the perfect timing for Austrian companies from the construction and the green building sector to enter the market right now. We will hear lots more from all of you later. We want to position our Austrian companies and establish long-term partnerships and connections for them. So that's why we have planned a longer initiative and focus on the construction industry to maximize our company's visibility on the market and also to regularly have touch points with potential customers or potential stakeholders in Hong Kong. So the start basically is today. We also had in the past 2 years several events and workshops focusing on different kinds of construction, for example, the timber construction, timber industry. But this webinar today really is the kickoff where we want to inform all of our companies about what's happening in Hong Kong and why we think it's a really good opportunity to try to tap into the market right now. The next thing happening in Hong Kong from our side will be an Austrian pavilion, an Austrian booth at one of the trade shows happening in December at the Convention Exhibition Center. It is the Construction Innovation Expo organized by our friends of the Construction Industry Council, where companies will showcase solution and technologies, innovative construction solution and technologies. For our Austrian companies, what we are offering, and you will find, maybe we can also, Yvonne, please post the links to the events in the chat as well. This is already happening in December, and we've chosen to give you the opportunity to participate also in the form of a catalog show, which means that you don't have to travel to Hong Kong yourself. We know it's a busy season for everyone, So basically, Yvonne and our team, we will represent you at the trade show. You can send us digital materials or printed materials or product samples, but basically we will make sure that you will get visibility at the show, but also get contacts and connections with respective stakeholders for you already. So this would be your first opportunity within that initiative to gain visibility and get contacts in Hong Kong. And you know that especially if you want to tackle faraway markets like Hong Kong is for Austria, it is really necessary to come back regularly and have a regular visibility at all the major industry events that are happening. So this is the first step. The next step is a few months later in spring. We will be organizing together with our friends from the Business Environment Council and the Hong Kong Greenbuilding Council. We will bring a delegation of Hong Kong stakeholders and authorities and decision makers to go to Austria to attend one of our big conferences on construction and green building, which is called Build in Green. And is going to happen at our organization's headquarters at the Austrian Federal Economic Chamber in Vienna. Some of you might know the conference from before. It was named a bit differently. It was used to be called the Future of Building Conference and the Green Tech Days. So there has been a rebranding, but basically this is the major conference event happening in Austria, international conference about construction and green building and anything green tech related. So this is where we're going to bring the Hong Kong stakeholders, plus in addition to attending the conference, we want to show them around and do some company visits and site visits. And of course, here we will focus on the companies who are also coming to Hong Kong to the Construction Innovation Expo and to the next event that we are offering, which is the Trade Mission in September 2026. Because this is part of this long-term plan. You present your company first in December at the show. We then bring you, the decision makers from Hong Kong, to Austria to visit your company, to visit construction sites that use your technologies to see for themselves. And then a few months later in September, you will again get the chance to have big visibility and also bring your team along, because then you already hopefully had some first contacts with the Hong Kong stakeholders and potential customers. So then in September 2026, it makes sense to come over with your team and be part of our Austrian country pavilion. We will have a pavilion at the largest sustainability event in Hong Kong that is called Rethink. It is a trade show plus conference, with lots of panel discussion and stages as well. And in addition to the Austrian pavilion, and where you will have with your company your designated area where you can bring your product samples and meet your potential clients, we are also organizing 2 additional days of site visits in Hong Kong. So we are actually going to really bring you out to the northern metropolis so we can check out the latest status of the construction in the northern metropolis. And you can see for yourself how huge this project is and how you, with your solutions, can contribute to this future of Hong Kong. This is what we're planning. And I think so just recently, 2 weeks ago, Rethink has happened in Hong Kong, the 2025 edition. And we took some videos so that you can imagine how it looks like and how the our Austrian contribution will look like. That's some impressions from the overall fair. And then these are some examples of country pavilions, similar to what our Austrian pavilion will look like. Yeah, so like the Canadians, they have one country pavilion, and every company has a designated area within that country pavilion, and this is also what we are planning for our Austrian pavilion. And of course, there's always after parties as well. All right. If you have any questions about the events, you can ask it later also in the Q&A. Now I'm happy to, next slide, please, Yvonne, to the agenda. Yes. I'm happy that we have many expert speakers and friends and partners from all our important partner organizations from Hong Kong with us here today, from different authorities. Yes, all the speakers are already on camera. First, you will meet my colleague, Ms. Yvonne Choi, from my team at the Außenwirtschaftscenter Hong Kong, a very experienced colleague who has been with us for more than 15 years, an engineer herself, and your contact person at my office for anything related to construction, green building, engineering, and infrastructure. And she will start by giving you a basic overview about the industry. We will then hear from Fiona Liu about the super exciting Northern Metropolis project. And as Fiona will have to take a leave right after her presentation, I'd like to ask you to pose any questions you have to Fiona directly after her part. Or if they only pop up to your mind a little later, no worries, we'll make sure to forward it to Fiona and get the replies back to you via email. This is followed by a presentation from Dr. Cheng Tin Cheng, Chairman of the Hong Kong Green Building Council, who is going to speak about what Hong Kong's needs are in terms of green building, and a presentation by Michael Fung from the Civil Engineering and Development Department about other major projects happening in Hong Kong. And at the end, we will still have time for a Q&A session. By the way, you saw that this webinar is going to be recorded. We will not record the Q&A session, though, so as to keep a very open and frank discussion. If you have any delicate questions you want to pose, please use the chat for your questions, or in the Q&A part, we can also do it more casually, and you can turn on your microphones and camera, and we can discuss together. We will also send out all the presentations afterwards as well. All right, with that, thank you again for all the speakers to be here, for all the participants, and I hand over to my colleague Yvonne, please.
Thank you, Jennifer. I share my screen. So I will talk about something about Hong Kong. Hong Kong companies are recognized for their ability to rapidly construct high-quality, high-rise apartment buildings and office towers. The use of the special construction technique, such as land reclamation and design and build method, has established Hong Kong as a regional leader in the industry. Hong Kong is famous for its high-rise, slope, and high-density design, as well as the innovative solution to the space constraints. The skyline is especially in central, highlight the creative use of the building materials, advanced technology, and ability of the Hong Kong architects. The major infrastructure projects in Hong Kong are the extension of the MTR. MTR is the transport of the mass transit railway in Hong Kong, and also the Northern Metropolis Development Project, which our next speaker, Fiona Liu, will tell us more about this project. Additionally, the industry is embracing green and smart construction practice, such as BIM, Building Information Modeling, MIC, Modular Integrated Construction, and Sustainability Building Techniques. However, the sector faces challenges like labor shortage and aging workforce, which hinders the productivities and project timeline. To solve this problem, companies are increasing adopting digital transformation tools, including drones, AI, and IoT, to monitor the sites and also for the safety and operations efficiency. Here are some statistics from the Census and Statistics Department in Hong Kong. The total employment in the construction sector remained relatively stable with only minor changes, and the overall construction sector continues to grow steadily, with the total output rising each year. The growth rate remains strong, driven especially for the public sector investment in 2024. And the construction industry is also very important part of the Hong Kong economy because it's contributing around 4 to 6% of the Hong Kong GDP. This is the major employment sector, providing jobs over 300,000 individuals, including professionals, technicians, and laborers. This labor force is essential for executing both the public and private construction projects, therefore supporting the city infrastructure and the real estate developments. The construction industry is also important because it's helped other business like manufacturing, transport, and also professional services. As Hong Kong keep building a big project and renewing the city, construction will stay important for growing the economy and creating jobs. You can also find some challenges in Hong Kong. Even though the construction industry in Hong Kong is growing, there's faced many problems. For example, the land in Hong Kong is very expensive and there is not enough space in Hong Kong. So starting new project is very hard and costly. Getting approval also take a long time because sometimes the public disagreement with the projects and causing delay and high costs. There are also worries about the environment, the need of reducing the pollution and save resources. To solve this problem, everyone involved must work together, find new solutions, and build in ways that protect the environment. This is also important for the industry to stay strong in the future. Then we talk about the green construction. Green construction is becoming more popular in Hong Kong as the city tries to grow while protecting the environment. This means designing and building in ways that to save the energy and resources. For example, buildings use less energy by using LED lights, smart harbor, and also solar and wind power. Builders use materials that are recycled, local, and have a lower carbon footprints. MIC, which is the modular integrated construction, helps reduce waste and make the buildings faster. Water is saved with the low-flow tape, rainwater collection, and recycling water. Waste is also reduced by sourcing it on-site and also use the prefabrication parts. Many projects in Hong Kong also get Green Plus certificate, which is the Hong Kong main green building standards. So the green building costs less to run and healthier for everybody, help the environment. So it's good to have a green constructions in Hong Kong. For future trends, Hong Kong will use more smart technology like AI, IoT to reduce the carbon footprint and urban greening. So if you'd like to join our construction mission 2025 and 2026, that's Jennifer told us about all the details in the very beginning. Please send us an email. And also, if you'd like to receive our quarterly newsletter, you can also write us an email. So the next speaker will be Ms. Fiona Liu, Head of Planning and Development Team of the Northern Metropolis Coordination Office, Development Bureau, Hong Kong SAR Government. She will present us for the latest development of the Northern Metropolis in Hong Kong. So, Fiona, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me share. Okay. So, Jennifer, Mr. Fong, Dr. Jern, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to friends in Hong Kong and good morning to friends in Austria. First of all, thank you, Jennifer, for the invitation and arrangement of this webinar. And I'm very happy to have this opportunity to introduce to friends from Austria the largest development project in Hong Kong in decades, the Northern Metropolis. Let's begin by watching a 2-minute video on what it is.
The Northern Metropolis is a large-scale development project in progress in Hong Kong, building a new metropolitan area in the northern part of the city, as a new economic engine, a livable community, and a quality platform for regional cooperation. Covering Yuen Long and North districts, it has an area of 30,000 hectares, about 1/3 of Hong Kong's total, capable of accommodating 2.5 million population on completion. The Northern Metropolis comprises 4 major zones. The Hung Shui Kyu vicinity will become a professional services and logistics hub. San Tin and the Loop will focus on innovation and technology. Boundary commercial activities and industries will develop in new territories north. Robin's Nest and Sha Tau Kok will be a base for recreation and eco-tourism. Construction for new development areas are progressing at full steam. We adopt multiple development approaches to leverage market forces and expedite the development of the area. The project is gradually bearing fruits. The coming years will see more residential developments completed, industrial land ready, and transport infrastructures commissioned. Blending urbanization with nature, an ideal place for work and life. A new engine of Hong Kong's development, the Northern Metropolis.
For friends who may not be too familiar with Hong Kong, geographically, Hong Kong consists of the Hong Kong Island in the south and Kowloon and New Territories in the northern part. The Northern Metropolis is what its name says it all, a metropolis in the northern part of Hong Kong. Traditionally, Hong Kong's metropolitan area is at the two sides of the Victoria Harbour. It's where Hong Kong started, our commercial center, our financial hub. In 2021, the government sets out its vision to develop a new metropolitan area in the northern part of Hong Kong, bordering the fast developing Shenzhen, to provide new land for housing and industries, and to become a new engine for our economic growth. Covering about 1/3 of Hong Kong's land area, the Northern Metropolis consists of several new development areas, or we call them NDAs, conveniently connecting with Shenzhen through 7 control points. Currently, there are some existing new towns in the northern part of Hong Kong, as shaded in pale yellow on this map. And NDAs, or new development areas, are in turquoise in this map, as well as the Hong Kong Shenzhen Innovation and Technology Park in the Loop, here, are already under construction. The government is refining the development proposals for those NDAs highlighted in brown, and I will explain more later. In October 2023, we published the Northern Metropolis Action Agenda. From west to east, we divide the Northern Metropolis into 4 major zones, according to their industrial positioning: the high-end professional services and logistics hub on the west, followed by the innovation and technology zone to its east, the boundary commerce and industry zone in the middle, and at the far east, the blue and green recreation, tourism, and conservation circle. The vision is to develop 3,000 hectares of new land capable of providing 500,000 housing units, generating 500,000 new jobs, and housing a population of 2.5 million. The objective of the project is threefold. The Northern Metropolis is said to be a new economic powerhouse for Hong Kong, supplying new land for innovation and technology, which are a major area of strength of Hong Kong and other industries. It will also be an arsenal of housing supply in the years to come, addressing our housing problem and giving birth to new communities which combine quality life, jobs, culture, leisure, green and sustainable living. Just as importantly, because of its strategic location, it will be an ideal platform for our collaboration with Shenzhen and other Greater Bay Area cities. I mentioned the Northern Metropolis as a vision, but it is not something too distant in the future. In fact, the project is already in full swing. 4 NDAs are already under construction. I will also show you the NDA's transport infrastructures under planning and opportunities lie ahead. First, construction. Kwu Tung North and Fan Yin North is a major source of housing supply and where we intend to relocate some of our government offices from the urban area. It is the first NDA in the Northern Metropolis to start construction. The first private housing development was completed in 2022, and in the coming 2 years, another 20,000 flats will be ready for intake, making it the first new community to emerge in the Northern Metropolis. To serve this community, a new Kwu Tung station on the East Rail Line is scheduled to open in 2027. Within Kwu Tung North, a 37-hectare Long Valley Nature Park, which has restored and enhanced a large tract of freshwater wetland, was opened last November, highlighting our dedication to nature conservation as we pursue urbanization in the part of Hong Kong. The second major NDA, Hong Shui Kiu, connecting with Qianghai and Nanshan in Shenzhen, currently by a road control point and in future by a cross-boundary rail, Hong Shui Kiu will be a base for developing professional services and modern logistics. Construction started in 2020. The first housing estate completed in 2024. Serving this NDA will be a new Hong Shui Kiu station on the Tuen Ma line to be commissioned in 2030, and the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail link to Qianghai, targeted for operation in 2035. The third NDA worthy of special attention is Shanqing Teleport. With 300 hectares of I&T land, it is set to become a hub of clustered innovation and technology development of Hong Kong, creating dynamic synergy with Shenzhen's Innovation and Technology Park just across the Shenzhen River. The loop in the north, closely connected with the Shenzhen I&T Park, is the first area within the Shanqing Teleport to develop. The first 3 buildings are now completed. Outside of the loop, construction has started, and we are looking at making the first batch of land available in 2026. The fourth NDA that we have entered into the construction stage is Yunnan South. It is at the southern extension of Yunnan New Town, to the southeast of Hong Shui Kiu. This NDA will be another major source of housing supply for Hong Kong. Land is also reserved in this NDA for the development of the modern logistics industry to capitalize on its proximity to Shenzhen Bay Port. Works for the first phase development have commenced since August 2022, with the first population intake expected in 2029. The second phase works are set to commence later this year. Next, I will move on to the NDAs which are under planning. First up is Laofou-Shan in the west. Laofou-Shan will be an extension of the Hong Shui Kiu NDA, given its proximity to Shenzhen Qianghai. Laofou-Shan will be positioned as a digital technology hub, promoting integration of new and traditional economies and serving as an incubation base for young talents and startups. This coastal area also possesses great lateral sceneries. Apart from the creation of new coastal protection parks in the future, we will also develop the less ecologically sensitive areas in Jinpeichui and Parkley into ecotourism destinations for locals and tourists to enjoy. We will also preserve the famous Laofushan seafood market at its existing location while enabling in situ improvements to enhance its attractiveness as a tourist spot. Again, this is another well-known tourist location in the Northern Metropolis that is well worth exploring. Mei is situated to the south of Shantin Teleport. The two NDAs will be just one station apart along the future Lofton Link Main Line. There is enormous potential for Mei to create synergy effect with the INT industry in Shantin Teleport. Substantial land has been reserved in Mei for developing the Northern Metropolis University Town, including the third medical school, as well as an integrated medical teaching and research hospital. Next is the New Territories North New Town. With a project area of about 1,420 hectares, the New Territories North New Town will be the largest NDA in the Northern Metropolis. This NDA enjoys the advantage of having 3 boundary control points at its doorstep, which give rise to huge potentials in developing various cross-boundary economic uses and industries requiring large land area for operation. With large tracts of developable land, it can also become a base for emerging industries, achieving complementary development with the Luohu district in Shenzhen. Some land is also reserved in this NDA for development of another part of the Northern Metropolis University Town. Last up is Ma Chou Long. Ma Chou Long is mainly planned for private housing development with open spaces and ancillary facilities. Considering that the future road network linking up the Loop and Kudong North will be passing through this place, this NDA can provide new homes, convenient community services, and daily living support to complement the future INT enterprises at the Loop. The new development areas would not deliver their benefits without well-planned transport infrastructure. Allow me to focus on some of the key projects in the next few slides. First, the Lofton Link. It consists of a main line, which is shown in blue on this slide, and a spur line, red in this slide. The 10 kilometers long main line will run from Kudong Station to Kamshan Road Station, connecting with the existing East Rail Line and Tuma Line, serving the new NDAs at Kudong North, Shantin, and Mei along the way. From the Shantin Station, a 6 kilometers long spur line will branch off towards the north, stop at the lofty part of Shantin Teleport, where the INT land concentrates, and then the Loop, until it reaches the new co-located Huanggang Port under construction in Shenzhen, serving boundary crossing function. Both the main line and spur line are under active planning and have a firm timetable for commissioning by the year of 2034. When I talked about Hongshui-Q just now, I mentioned the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link. Allow me to say a little bit more about this important cross-boundary infrastructure. Starting from Hongshui-Q Town Center, this rail line will stop at 2 more stations on the Hong Kong side, Hachun and Laofushan, before crossing the Shenzhen Bay. On Shenzhen side, It will have a stop at Shenzhen Bay Port, where passengers can change for local metro before it reaches the important Qianhai Cooperation Zone. The entire journey will take only 15 minutes, but this strategic railway is going to inject important impetus to the development of the western parts of Hong Kong and Shenzhen and beyond. The rail line is scheduled for operation in 2035. Railways aside, we need road-based transport to support people and businesses to move around in the Northern Metropolis. The 23 kilometers long Northern Metropolis Highway will link up the core NDAs from west to east, enhancing the connectivity of the entire Northern Metropolis. An investigation study of this highway is underway. With the Northern Metropolis rapidly taking shape, investment opportunities abound. I will highlight a few prominent and recent examples. Land development projects in the Northern Metropolis are mostly publicly funded. As far as site formation and infrastructure works are concerned, 27 government contracts have already been awarded with a total value exceeding €5 billion. Looking at 4 quarters ahead, 5 more tenders will be invited, including one being invited with estimated costs above €200 billion. Hong Kong has a procurement system that meets the WTO standards and is open to local and overseas bidders alike, meeting specified requirements. Turning into transport infrastructure, the Hong Kong section of the Hong Kong-Shenzhen Western Rail Link, which I've mentioned, is now inviting expressions of interest, closing in end October 2025. In 2026, we will launch a tender for the Smart and Green Mass Transit System, which will be a road-based public transport system serving the local transport need of the Hong Shui Kiu NDA. Given the vast scale of the Northern Metropolis and the wide-ranging works covering industry development through to infrastructure provision, we cannot solely rely on government efforts alone, and we will also need to leverage on market forces to take forward the project. In this connection, we have been adopting a diversified and innovative development approach in the Northern Metropolis. Traditionally, land sale is our most conventional form of land disposal. For those of you not familiar with Hong Kong, virtually all the land in Hong Kong is owned by the government, and they are leased out to developers and individuals on lease term upon payment of land premium, albeit often for a relevantly long period of time. Government land earmarked for development is usually disposed of through public sales. However, if we were to solely adopt the conventional land sale approach in developing the Northern Metropolis, we would first need to resume all the land, clear it, then tenure it out before the developer can move in to take forward their projects. As you can imagine, this tends to be very time-consuming. In developing the Northern Metropolis, we have devised an in-situ land exchange mechanism whereby a piece of private land, usually in agricultural or brownfield uses, is planned for development use within an NDA. The landowner may apply to the government to develop their land in accordance with the government's planning through the payment of land premium and meeting other obligations. Not only does this encourage early private sector participation by bypassing the need for land resumption and tender, it also tends to speed up the process quite considerably. Another approach is the large-scale land disposal. This large-scale land disposal approach represents a new way of disposing land to the market. Instead of selling land piece by piece, as the name tells, We will identify relatively large land parcels comprising residential, industry elements, as well as public facilities such as roads and parks, and dispose to the market as a package to expedite development. Earlier this year, we invited expression of interest from the market and received 22 submissions, a very encouraging response. We will be tendering the first 3 pilot sites starting from this year, so please stay tuned. With the encouraging response from the market on developing the 3 pilots, we built on the same momentum and sought the market's views on developing ecotourism nooks at Pat Lake and Chin Fei Chui in the Northern Metropolis. Once again, the market response has been positive, and we are currently analyzing the 19 submissions received on these 2 projects to determine suitable development parameters for the project and implementation details. We are going to establish specific tender arrangements and timelines with a view to ensuring the ultimate development scheme will align with market interests and considerations. Apart from investment opportunities on infrastructure and works, as more new industry land becomes available, enterprises from different industries may wish to consider establishing presence in this growth area. One of such early opportunities is in the INT-focused loop on the Hong Kong-Shenzhen boundary, where 3 buildings are now available for leasing. Beyond the loop, new innovation and technology land in the Shenzhen Teleport will be supplied to the market in the coming years. Besides the investment opportunities mentioned, as our Chief Executive of the Hong Kong SAR government announced in his policy address last week, industries are the cornerstone of economic development. The Hong Kong government will leverage market forces through enhanced measures such as flexible land grant arrangements, tax concessions, capital subsidies, and talent grooming so as to drive industry development. Time will not allow me to go further into details of this mega project and its many investment opportunities. If more information is needed, our website is the place to go. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Weibo for news and updates, as well as the rich history and culture of the Northern Metropolis. Feel free to approach us for any further information you need. Thank you for your time, and on behalf of the Northern Metropolis, a very warm welcome for your participation in anticipation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fiona, for this comprehensive overview of this new exciting area that's going to be built. As I said in the beginning, this is also we're actually planning to visit the construction site with our Austrian companies next September, so they can see for themselves how much has already been developed and see the area that is still going to be built. Thanks a lot. We haven't received any questions in the chat until now. If we still do receive some later, we will make sure to forward it to you and your team, Fiona.
Yes, sure. And we welcome every one of you to come to Hong Kong and visit the Northern Metropolis.
Thank you very much. Great. So I think we should, we're running a little bit late, but I think it's all right. We can also extend a few minutes. Now I would like to ask Dr. Cheng Tin Cheng, Chairman of the Hong Kong Green Building Council, for some insights on business opportunities for Austrian companies and also maybe some future trends in the green building industry. Dr. Cheng, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen in Australia, and good afternoon to our Hong Kong audience. On behalf of the Hong Kong Green Building Council, Hong Kong GBC, I'm delighted to be here to share our insights regarding emerging opportunities and key industry trends of green buildings in Hong Kong. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to the Australian Trade Commission for the kind invitation. To address the urgent challenges of climate change, the Hong Kong government has set a clear and ambitious roadmap towards carbon neutrality by 2050 under its Climate Action Plan 2050. Among the 4 key decarbonization strategies outlined in the plan, energy saving and green buildings plays an important role in supporting this transition. The entire industry has since been proactively working together towards this common goal. Carbon emissions from buildings are a significant global concern. Let's look at 2 key figures highlighted in the screen. Globally, the building and construction sector contributes approximately 34% of total carbon emissions, while in Hong Kong, with its high-rise, high-density urban landscape, building-related activities account for over 90% of total electricity consumption, resulting in more than half of the city's carbon emissions. These figures are striking. It's clear that buildings must be at the heart of our decarbonization strategies if we are to improve the sustainability of our built environment in a meaningful way. Given its limited land area, Hong Kong faces several complex urban challenges. High-density living environment with limited space. Vertical development is the norm. Hence, we have high-rise, high-density developments. Another challenge is land shortage. Land shortage causing the dilemma of utilization. We have to balance land use between housing, infrastructure, and green space. This is a continuous challenge. Another challenge is the impact of a changing climate. Rising temperatures and extreme weather events are increasingly threatening urban resilience, exactly what Hong Kong is facing today with typhoon. Aging population and aging building stock are also another urban challenge. Many existing buildings in Hong Kong are aging and require retrofitting. And the other challenge is the need to balance sustainable economic growth. We must harmonize urban development with environmental responsibilities. Thus, these challenges make green building not just an opportunity, but a necessity. The green transformation of buildings in Hong Kong presents numerous opportunities. The first opportunity is green investment. Companies are increasingly required to set specific ESG goals to align with shareholders' vision for achieving global sustainable development goals. Green real estate holds investment potential, and its sustainability elements are becoming increasingly important in attracting and retaining tenants. Another opportunity is green finance. To finance the transition to net zero, banks and the financial sector plays a gatekeeper role by directing capital towards sustainable economic projects. For example, banks can leverage Hong Kong's strengths in financial service to offer innovative green financial service and products, supporting green building projects in Hong Kong and other cities in the Greater Bay Area. Other opportunities are green certification, green planning, green materials, green methods, green electricity generation, efficient energy use, and green community. Development in all these areas is crucial to driving the green transformation of buildings. As a whole, with green efforts in financing, certification, planning, and more, Hong Kong is full of opportunities and has strong capabilities in green building. In addition, innovation and transformation are being focused on to reshape the built environment. The Hong Kong Green Building Council is committed to driving a sustainable built environment by actively engaging with the government, the industry stakeholders, as well as the wider public. Our core strategies are promoting collaboration, developing and implementing rating tools, assisting professional development, promoting public engagement, and caring for communities. With these strategies serving as our foundation, the Council is dedicated to making a positive impact on green building and leading the shift to a low-carbon future. These efforts can be further categorized into three focus areas, that is, assessment, knowledge, and engagement. First of all, BIMPAS is Hong Kong's leading and independent assessment tool for evaluating building sustainability performance. The Hong Kong Green Building Council serves as the certification body, while our partner, the BIM Society, acts as the assessment body. Buildings are weighted based on performance credits, with certification levels ranging from bronze to the highest level, platinum. By the end of 2024, nearly 7,000 new buildings and over 1,500 existing buildings have been registered under BIMPAS, showing strong industry adoption and recognition. BIMPAS applies to many types of buildings, and it continues to evolve and improve, adapting to changing times, emerging technologies, and new market demands. For instance, earlier this year, we launched the BIMPAS Existing Buildings version 3.0, refining the certification standards and encouraging broader industry engagement. BIMPAS offers a comprehensive set of performance criteria that address various sustainability issues throughout a building's life cycle. By providing a fair and objective assessment of a building's overall performance, BIMPAS enables organizations and companies of all sizes to demonstrate their commitment to sustainable development. So you may ask, why BIMPAS? Actually, it is more than just a rating tool. Since April 2011, it has been a key requirement for applying for gross floor area concessions in new building projects, which helps promote green building practices across the city. Starting from 2016, as Hong Kong developed its green finance market, BIMPAS became one of the most commonly used green building standards for green bonds, green loans, and other financial tools. It is also widely used as an ESG benchmark by real estate developers and asset owners. So you can see, BIMPAS is being used as a tool for promoting green finance, green building products, embodied carbon reduction, industry coherence, innovative construction methods, facility management, renewable energy, sustainable lifestyle, and sustainable community development. We are also excited to share that the BIMPAS is expanding its reach beyond Hong Kong. In May last year, we launched the BIMPAS Existing Buildings Global version, extending its application to the mainland and Belt and Road regions, marking a key step in regional collaboration. Looking ahead, the BIMPAS New Building Global version is expected to launch in 2026. I would like to invite you all to stay tuned. In addition to BIMPAS, the Council introduced two new certification schemes in 2023 to 2024. They are the Zero Carbon Ready Building Certification and the Net Zero Energy Building Certification. These initiatives aim to establish aligned definitions, consistent calculation methodologies, and clear targets among industry stakeholders. The response from the industry has been really encouraging. Another assessment tool is the CIC Green Product Certification Scheme, which was officially launched in 2019. An enhanced version was introduced in May this year, featuring expanded product categories and newly introduced sustainability aspects to better meet the evolving needs of the market. This scheme serves as a public and open platform. Sorry, I missed out. This scheme serves as a public and open platform to recognize and source green materials and products with the goal of promoting green procurement across the building and construction industry. Notably, when certified green building materials or products are adopted, incentives such as credits in BIM+ are given. This motivates the industry to innovate and manufacture sustainable building solutions. Today, over 1,000 building materials and products have been certified, with the majority achieving platinum or gold ratings. We believe that knowledge and knowledge exchange are essential to empowering the industry and professionals to grow and innovate. Over the years, the Hong Kong Green Building Council has worked closely with our members and stakeholders to develop industry best practices, publish guidelines, and deliver training and capacity building programs, particularly in key areas such as virtual commissioning and virtual fitting. One of our latest initiatives is the launch of the Virtual Fitting Hub earlier this year. It's an online knowledge exchange platform offering technical resources and practical support to help the industry implement virtual fitting projects more effectively. The latest virtual fitting strategies, guidelines, case studies, resources, and activities relating to building energy saving can be found in this online knowledge exchange platform. There are more than 60 strategies on the Virtual Fitting Hub, and it is still expanding. You may capture the current screen and feel free to scan the QR codes here for more details on these initiatives, or visit our official website for further information. One tree does not make a forest. Collaboration and synergy are more vital than ever. As a member-led NGO, the Hong Kong Green Building Council has been actively engaging with the industry since its establishment in 2009, backed by 4 founding members. By the end of 2024, our network has grown to including nearly 200 institutional members, and over 5,600 associate members. And that number continues to grow today. With this strong and diverse community, we are able to drive meaningful change and make impactful progress together towards a more sustainable built environment. Here's how we make a difference. Through organizing and collaborating on seminars, conferences, delegation visits, exhibitions, and recognized awards, we are creating positive impact and sharing Hong Kong's success stories with our neighbors and the world. Beyond the industry, we remain committed to community engagement through initiatives such as the Hong Kong Green Building Week and the Jockey Cup Energy Saver in Schools project to promote green building awareness among the public and in schools. With more voices, we can make our message louder. As we wrap up, it's clear that Hong Kong's green building capabilities span from robust certification schemes for sustainable buildings and materials to green finance, innovation, property management, and community development. These capabilities provide a strong foundation for future progress. Moving forward, the Hong Kong Green Building Council will remain closely connected to the industry and act as a driving force in shaping new developments both in the local market and across the Greater Bay Area and Belt and Road regions. We will continue to work hand in hand with stakeholders to foster cross-sector collaboration and innovation. Together, we are moving closer to our carbon neutrality goal by 2050. to make the most of our green building strengths, we need everyone to work together across disciplines and across borders like you. By taking this chance, we also look forward to more communication and collaboration with the Australian building sector, sharing knowledge and exploring new opportunities for a greener future. Please join hands with us to create a sustainable built environment in Hong Kong and around the world as we move towards carbon neutrality. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cheng, for sharing all this information with us. We're also very thankful to have you as a partner for our delegation visit to Austria next year, and very excited to show you some projects and some Austrian technologies, which hopefully in future could be used in buildings in Hong Kong. We already have a question for you in the chat, Dr. Cheng. I'll just read it out for now.
Okay.
Does BEAM Plus consider the environmental impact of buildings also during the phase of construction? For example, by the use of construction machinery, electrified, or is it assessing the building material rather and energy efficiency during operation?
Yes, the BEAM Plus for new building, we will look at the BEAM Plus. We also look at the management aspect. That is how the building is designed and constructed. So the construction, the impact of the construction work to the environment will also be considered, and there will be credit assigned for measure to reduce the influence, the adverse impact on the environment.
Okay, we have another.
For on the use of material and waste, it will also be another criteria that the construction works need to look at in order to gain more credits under the BEAM Plus assessment.
Is there also any other incentives from the government to the real estate developers to build green buildings?
Yes, as I just mentioned, in order to apply for gross floor area concession for new projects, the project need to apply for the BEAM Plus assessment and need to at least got certain level of rating. So they can only obtain GFA concession for green developments.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Please stay in the call for if there are any more questions later. And now we come to the last part of our webinar by Michael Fong, Director of Civil Engineering and Development Department, introducing a few other major projects in Hong Kong. Michael, the floor is yours.
All right, thank you. So let me work on my PowerPoint first. Sorry for that. Okay, so good afternoon, Jennifer, and good morning to those Austrian friends in Austrian. Now, the Civil Engineering and Development Department is actually a government department in Hong Kong responsible for undertaking key land supply and infrastructure projects to support the sustainable growth of Hong Kong. Now, today, I'm pleased to share with you our works in building Hong Kong into a world-class, sustainable and resilient city, and the corresponding business opportunities ahead. Now, for those who are not familiar with the work of my department, I'd like to briefly talk about what we do first. Now, in a nutshell, CDD, my department, provides 4 main areas of services, including provision of land and infrastructure, port and marine services, geotechnical services, and environmental and sustainability services. Now, apart from the headquarters, the CDD has 6 constituent offices, each bear different functions and provide different services. Now, the first service about the provision of land infrastructure. Now, CDD carries out site formation and infrastructure works for new development areas. Now, we undertake various large-scale development and infrastructure projects spanning across the whole territory. Now, for example, the Cross Bay Link, the East Coast Boardwalk, the Dong Chung New Town development, the New Territory Cycle Track Network, and the Kaidat Sky Gardens, etc. Now, for port and marine services, CDD implements coastal hazard mitigation initiatives, as well as management and maintenance of coastal facilities like public piers and seawalls. We also regularly reviewed and update Portworth design manual with the latest climate change parameters to enhance climate resilience of our coastal structure. But for geotechnical services, CDD manages the slope safety system of the city, which includes upgrading substandard government slopes and undertaking landslide mitigation works for vulnerable natural hillsides. We also undertake technical development work for the production of geotechnical standards and guidelines and providing testing services for public works projects through the public works laboratories. For environmental and sustainability services, CDD has been actively promoting greening through a wide range of initiatives, including the implementation of the greening master plans, which cover the whole territory of Hong Kong, and the landscape improvement works in Phnom Penh. Now, we have injected many sustainable initiatives in our projects. For example, we introduced eco-shorelines in our Dong Chung East Reclamation Project to mimic the natural habitat for marine species. Now, when we were taking forward the Gudong North and Faneng North New Development Area project, we have developed Long Valley, just mentioned by Fiona earlier on, to a nature park for conserving and enhancing the ecological value of this important piece of freshwater wetland. Now, we also manage a public field strategy, promote upcycling of construction materials. In fact, building green and sustainable cities has become a global trend. My department has been tasked with the development of the Northern Metropolis, briefly mentioned, described by Fiona earlier on, which will be built with a unique metropolitan landscape that features urban-rural integration and coexistence of development and conservation. The Northern Metropolis will become Hong Kong's new engine for economic development. Now, there are many villages and lands with rich historical and cultural resources in the Northern New Territories. Now, as I have just said, in the development of the Northern Metropolis, one of our key focuses is on ensuring good coexistence of conservation and development. A remarkable example that I would like to share with you is the development of the Long Valley Nature Park, when we developed the Gudong North and Faneng North new development areas. Now, this plan on the right shows the project boundary of the Gudong North and Faneng North new development area, which forms part of the Northern Metropolis. The Long Valley, located between these two new development areas, is the largest contiguous freshwater wetlands of high ecological value, but it was intermixed with some dried and abandoned agricultural land before. Now, what we have done is to develop some 37 hectares of land at the core area of Long Valley into a nature park for conserving and enhancing the ecologically important environment. Now, we have completed the nature park last year and are truly excited to record actually more than 320 species of birds, accounting for more than half of the total number of bird species in Hong Kong. Now, the development of the Long Valley Nature Park showcases that development and conservation can coexist harmoniously in Hong Kong. Now, the nature park integrates wetland conservation, eco-friendly farming, and nature educations in one place. It's divided into 3 management zones, namely the biodiversity zone for core conservation, the agricultural zone for eco-friendly farming, and the visitor zone equipped with green facilities for visitors and educational activities. Now, the biodiversity zones is designed to maintain the biodiversity of Long Valley. Now, in the past, it mainly consisted of dry agricultural land, abandoned farmland, or farmland with relatively low ecological value. Now, our project team adopted active ecological restoration approach to increase the food sources for animals high up the food chain, such as water birds. Now, as a result, the restored wetland habitats provide an ideal environment for foraging, sheltering, and breeding of the different wetland wildlife species. Now, another zone is the nature park is the agricultural zone. In the past, it mainly consists of temporary soil ditches, small channels, and temporary structures. Now, to cater for the irrigation need, we enhance the quality of irrigation water by provision of a proper irrigation channel system. Now, for the visitor zone, the Long Valley Nature Center is constructed to provide quality spaces for the public to learn more about the ecological importance of Long Valley. The center is designed as a green building by adopting a variety of green features, such as the use of recycled materials for the exterior surfacing, adoption of rainwater harvesting, recycling facilities, provision of a highly efficient air conditioning system, lighting fitments with low lighting power density, and PV panels aiming to achieve over 32% annual energy saving. Now, this center has achieved the BEAM Plus provisional platinum rating from the Hong Kong Green Building Council, just briefly described by Dr. Chen earlier on. Now, other than the nature park, we aspired to create vibrant, livable, and sustainable communities in these major development projects. The Northern Metropolis for our next generations. Now, in order to achieve a vision and goal, we have adopted a set of smart, green, and resilient strategies in the developments of the Northern Metropolis, including first, the sustainable planning urban design, and second, integrated SGR infrastructure system, and third, smart and green mobility. Now, now I'd like to briefly introduce some of the sustainable planning and urban design. Now, first of all, we will adopt a 15-minute neighborhood concept for the planning of the living communities. Now, each communities will have a green mass transit station at the center, with other public transport stations, daily shopping and dining facilities, community facilities, open spaces, etc., within 15 minutes reach, either by walking or cycling, and thus reducing road traffic and encouraging low carbon living. In order to provide a healthy and comfortable environment, step building height will be planned, and we will align the open space and breezeway with the prevailing wind directions and conduct air ventilation assessments. We will also encourage buildings to adopt a sky-rise greening, including rooftop greening, vertical greening, sky gardens, etc., which will improve the heat island effect, lower the energy consumption and carbon footprint of the buildings. Our second SGR strategy is to provide a whole array of integrated smart, green, and resilient infrastructure system, including sponge city, a design comprising sustainable urban drainage system, such as porous pavement, bioswales, retention tanks, etc. The sponge city design can enhance our resilience against intense rainfall and alleviate flooding risk. Besides, we will put in place a comprehensive network of renewable energy facilities, in particular, solar energy panels to harvest clean energy to support the city operation. We would adopt district cooling system, which has a high energy efficiency and lower carbon footprint to provide chilled water from a central source to serve multiple buildings, including the INT industry. We will construct footways and sewage sludge digestion facilities. They are the municipal infrastructures of our new generation community for handling our waste in an environmentally friendly manner. Now, we will provide waste management facilities such as recycling stations and resource recovery facilities to promote waste reduction and recycling. Common utility tunnels will be constructed to house various underground utilities. Now, this common utility tunnel will effectively avoid public disturbance and the associated energy consumption and waste generations arising from road excavation for laying and maintenance of underground utilities. Now, taking Shenzhen Teleport as an example, which is an important component of the Northern Metropolis, we adopt an integrated blue-green network for stormwater management in our planning design. Now, under the project, a blue-green network will be formed through revitalizing existing drainage channels and creating large open spaces. The east and west revitalized river will also serve as a key recreation node for Shenzhen Teleport. Now, it creates a riverine experience for commuters by seamlessly integrating drainage channels with public open spaces and riverside park. Now, besides, a 300-meter wide east-west bird flight corridor will be set over the northern portions of the Shenzhen Teleport. Now, only long building area and development of low height profile will be allowed underneath this flight corridor. Now, such a blue-green network enhances flood resilience, contributes leisure and recreation opportunities, and more importantly, enhances biodiversity through the creation of a diverse range of habitats, such as water bodies, intertidal zones, forests, and grasslands, etc. Now, as regards the third strategy, namely smart and green mobility, comprehensive pedestrian and cycle networks are planned to allow residents to travel by healthy modes, such as walking or cycling from their homes to different destinations to obtain various necessities within 15 minutes. Extensive supporting facilities for electric and other new energy vehicles will be developed in order to actively promote the development and use of new energy vehicles to improve roadside air quality and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Now, new generation transport interchange hubs will be provided at strategic locations. They will become an important link between transport and development of neighboring areas by providing diversified one-stop transport facilities and ancillary services to enhance passenger travel experience, thereby improving transport services. Now, apart from the SGR strategies I've just mentioned, we will focus on two important initiatives. One is to pursue nature-based solutions in the development of Northern Metropolis as an important means to improve climate resilience and support biodiversity. Now, in order to implement this initiative in a more structured and systematic way, we are developing a nature-based solution guidelines, which aims to facilitate the adoption of nature-based solutions in our projects and ensure nature-based solution is designed in a consistent manner. Now, we have reviewed relevant overseas and mainland China literature and publications to understand global practices and identified what we can incorporate in to better suit the local context of Hong Kong. Now, last but not least, performance monitoring will be recommended and implemented to gauge the benefits of the nature-based solutions adopted for review and further enhancement. While the guiding principle of the nature-based solution designs are under formulation, there will be three key principles. First, maximizing structural diversity of an ecosystem. Now, through embedding diversity when designing our infrastructure, such as creating different types of habitats at a macro scale like the river park and service complexity of design like the eco shoreline. Second, delivering symbiotic built and natural environments through guiding project proponents to set goals for applying nature-based solutions to maximize societal benefits, balance the nature and human composition, and ensure smooth transition between various zones. Third, embedding resilience function. Now, through ensuring considerations of resilience of the design in terms of climate, nature, socio-economic, etc. We will set KPIs and guidelines to gauge the performance of our design solutions, such as biodiversity, again, carbon sequestrations, other key ecosystem services, and so on. Now, at the same time, we are exploring using innovative technologies for monitoring the performance of the nature-based solution to create a feedback loop for further enhancement. Now, with the implementation of the nature-based solutions and guidebook, we can effectively design, monitor, and manage our infrastructure to benefit both human and nature. Now, apart from the adoptions of the nature-based solutions, which aims to achieve co-benefits to the nature and people. Another key initiative we are focusing on is to pursue urban-rural integration initiatives in the developments of the Northern Metropolis. Now, our objective is to make the Northern Metropolis a sustainable community ideal for living, working, and traveling. Now, we are now developing a guideline on urban-rural integration. Now, this guideline emphasizes a planning-led approach to ensure our new developments will blend harmoniously with existing villages, thus fostering mutual benefits and balanced developments.